Vietnam leaves a complicated legacy for America, and this weekend will commemorate the chaotic end of that war. Tonight, we hear from the pilot who flew the ill-fated first mission to evacuate thousands of children from South Vietnam just before communist forces took over. The story from 10 on Your Side anchor Tom Shad.
The 1970s were the beginning of the end of U.S. military involvement in Southeast Asia. The last American combat troops left Vietnam in 1973, and 2 years later, communist forces from the north toppled the government of Saigon in the south. That same year, President Gerald Ford announced Operation Babylift.
The United States has been doing and will continue to do its utmost to assist these people.
A plan to evacuate children from a land decimated by decades of fighting.
Well, I've got 73 seats upstairs, I told them. And they said, no. We want you to figure out how many you can really take. And aghast, you mean floor load them?
Retired Air Force Colonel Bud Traynor, then a captain, piloted the C-5A Galaxy for the first flight out of Saigon on April 4th, 1975. With more than 300 people on board, including 250 children. 14 minutes after takeoff, an explosion blew out the rear doors.
I mean, everybody is expecting it one day, or you're going to lose an engine and recover, do something. Things would go wrong. Well, I'd never had a rapid decompression, but I knew they existed and what I needed to do.
Traynor and his co-pilot donned their oxygen masks and tried to maintain control of a crippled aircraft.
As a pilot, you don't even really think about that. You just fly the airplane. Unbeknownst to me, the door, when it blew out, rotated and it clipped the hydraulic systems that were all in one place. So 2 of the 4 hydraulic systems were taken out.
Traynor was forced to crash land in a rice paddy about 5 miles from Tan Son Nhut Air Base near Saigon.
We landed right on 4 or so Vietnamese soldiers. They just don't expect a C-5 coming at them at 50 feet. And so smacked right there, came to a stop.
Somehow, Traynor and his co-pilot, Captain Tilford Harp, survived.
And normally the flight deck would be 33 feet in the air, and of course I'm just stepping right out the top of the airplane, and the ground are just on the other side of the window.
Of the 313 people on that first flight, 78 children died, along with 35 military personnel.
I don't think any of the crew took, can I say, ownership of the deaths. They took ownership of the lives.
And after that tragedy, flights continued, as America closed one of the most controversial chapters in its history.
That was Tom Shad reporting. We have more on this story over at wavy.com.